Hello everyone. This video I am doing it to tell the importance of laboratories or practicals in your engineering education. They are very important, but they are mostly neglected by students, even by faculty. Why practicals are very important in engineering? Why? Because as I already said in my previous videos, if you join any company, you are not taking any theoretical textbook and you are reading there. You need to practically do something as per the situation or scenario in that particular company. Let's suppose you are building a website for any bank. Okay, there you need to have a good skills of web development. If you are building some app, mobile app for any company, you should have some Android application or iOS application concepts. You are building some IoT application for any surveillance companies, you should have knowledge about all the IoT things. If you are designing some machine or if you are designing some parts in the car or any vehicle, you should have some mechanical knowledge around it. If you are building some buildings with good materials, good construction materials, you should have some knowledge about that. Okay, at the same time, if you are working with some electricity, you should have some knowledge about electrical things. See, these things, how do you get it when you don't experience it? Okay, if you don't experience the things, then how do you get to do it when you join any company? For getting that experience, there are laboratories in colleges. Okay, those laboratories, it is like in an environment, in a setup, it is called lab setup. In the lab setup with equipment, with academic equipment, whatever you have read, you are practically doing it, right, in the lab setup. Then once you join any company, there the situations will change, so many other situations will come. But if you don't have this basic knowledge of doing it, then how do you perform there? That is why laboratories are very important, but mostly neglected things. And then people usually complain about observation books and records. See, observation books are very important. Why? Because I take one example. If you are designing one circuit, if you are designing some circuit, it requires so and so resistor, so and so capacitor, so many other passive or active components. Okay, where you are experimenting with that and you are expected to get some result. If you vary those parameters, what kind of results you are getting? If you are varying it, is it getting the same result which is which is expected? Otherwise, are you getting some worse results or best results? This kind of analysis has to happen, and while doing that, you might be noting so many values. So that is why observation books are required. One more point: whenever you go and apply for a patent is nothing but it's an intellectual property. Whatever you have designed, you get the rights over your design. Whenever you go for any patent for your innovation office will ask your observation book when same kind of people claim for that. That is what the power of observation book. Coming to record, yes, if your juniors want to see what you have done, that is why records are maintained. Okay, nowadays digitization has happened. Few universities and colleges are not asking for records. Few colleges are still asking for records. It depends on college and university. In these days, records are not required. Why? Because everything can be digitalized. But observation books, yes, it is required. Why? Because you do so many mathematical calculations, you change the values, you change the variables, you will be writing so many logics. I have observed people have forgot to write algorithms and flowcharts for any programming labs. See, if you don't write any logical structure for any program you are writing, then how do you get it? Like if I ask you to build an app, if you don't have that logical thinking, how do you build it? See, these things are very important, and these things will come from laboratories only. And as I mentioned many times, if you take your senior book, if you just become a typewriter instead of coder, okay, from my engineering days, the same lab programs are there. Even faculty has to change, universities has to change the syllabus as per the industry needs. Same old programs cannot be kept for these many years. If you are from autonomous institutions, you have to change the programs as per the industry needs. If you go to any IIT or BITS or triple ITs, you see their laboratories how they run. So professor then and there, he comes and he gives a scenario and he asks students to program it. That is how the lab should be. We all should learn that, then only we are industry fit. Otherwise we are not industry fit. We cannot do any programming jobs. As always, Indians are taken for service roles. You think you are working in TCS, Cognizant, Infosys, but most of you are ending up in service oriented jobs. You are not programmers. If you start performing yourself in laboratories, and if you have good coding skills or hardware oriented skills, then you become a program managers, or you become a product engineers, or you can become software engineer or hardware engineers. So that is why laboratories are very, very, very important. Both students and faculty have to concentrate on these things. Thank you guys. Myself Kaushik, I am CEO of Vibha.